drive value for your company? Is it opportunistic or is it planned? Is it spontaneous or is it predictable? Business owners are always looking for the next best profit-making opportunity. But are you doing that in a reactive way or a proactive way? 98% of business owners operate in a very reactive mode when they grow their business. Now think for a moment. What does growth look like if it's reactive? What do you think, Alicia?
It looks chaotic.
Chaotic, indeed. Petra, what do you think? Any other aspects of it?
I mean, also eruptions, you know. It can also just be eruptive.
It can be eruptive and disruptive. Good point. Reactive entrepreneurial growth tends to really focus on any particular business opportunity they get. After all, you're desperate for cash flow. And they can't really get great management talent because they're always changing their game plan. So growth is a bit exhausting. Needless to say, cash is always an issue. Reactive growth like that is really risky. It's much more risky than proactive growth, because proactive growth is the result of executing your optimum growth strategy. What is your optimum growth strategy? Your optimum growth strategy is the one that you would pursue, doing only what you do best. When you pursue your passion to do only what you do best, that's a strategy that you can execute better than anyone else. It's the one, the only strategy that delivers the highest return with the lowest risk. Literally, any other strategy is suboptimal. But you know what? Only 2% of entrepreneurs actually pursue their optimal growth strategy. Only 2% of entrepreneurs are proactive in their growth. Now, think about what growth looks like in a proactive world. How about this side? What does proactive growth look like?
It's fast.
Fast, indeed. What else might proactive growth look like?
Planned.
Definitely. Plan. Entrepreneurs who are responding to proactive growth have a choice of the best clients, which they choose and get premium prices for the value they create. And proactive entrepreneurs tend to get great top-notch talent. They have vision, and that's contagious. People want to be around it. Proactive entrepreneurs have no problem with that. You see, proactive growth like that creates profitable growth, fast growth, and safe growth. And those entrepreneurs are pursuing their passion, and they are excited people. So I think the question at hand is simple. How do you shift from reactive growth to proactive growth? The answer is have a plan. A plan with rules that ensure that you are laser focused on building value unique to you. A plan to drive value in your company in a proactive way. Now, such a plan requires 3 elements. A definition of success, an outline of rules, and a routine. The definition of success really needs to be actionable. The rules need to be outlined because other people need to execute. And the routine is all about making regular mid-course decided I was going to become knowledgeable about how to trade stocks for long-term investment. I went to school on this topic. And I started getting very, very good at selecting stocks that would rise and move in a nice upward direction. All my stocks were doing very well for the first several quarters. Now, I was a little nervous about this process, so when I would make a purchase of stocks, I would also simultaneously put in a contingency order to sell at a price that was 3% the most recent support level. So just in case the stock turned around and started to fall, I wouldn't lose all my money. I was thinking ahead. Things were going pretty well. Then the market got a lot more volatile. And that volatility started to make me very nervous. And I became very emotional about these stocks. But I really wasn't sure what to do about them. I watched them every day. I looked at them, but I didn't do anything about them. And in the middle of my not doing anything with them, they fell through the support. I got stopped out. I lost all the profits I had made. One of my investor coaches asked me, Stefania, what are your exit rules? I don't have any exit rules. I had entry rules, but I didn't have any exit rules. You see, sometimes when you think you're being proactive, you actually may be very reactive. To be proactive, you need rules. You need rules about the definition of your success, about the outline of the action rules, and about the routine for mid-course correction. So now I'd like you to imagine what your growth scenario might look like if you did have rules to make sure that you were laser focused on driving value toward your optimum growth strategy, such that you were never off kilter doing anything but. I'd like you to think about the rules I'm going to suggest to you and think about how you might build on them. The first step, as we know, is to define success, but in a very actionable way. I will pursue my optimum growth strategy to achieve the highest return with the lowest risk, as documented in my corporate resume. And I will gauge my performance based on escalating profitability margins, on increasing revenue. Very definitive. After all, if you don't articulate what success is for you, you nor your team can help you get there. Step number 2, you've got to outline these rules so that everybody else can execute them. And the rules run the gamut. They have to be the watch list. We need, obviously, entry guidelines and exit guidelines, and we need risk management. So, consider these. Watch list. I will maintain a watch list of the best relationships that can help me accomplish my optimum growth strategy. Not just customers and vendors, but financing sources, trusted advisors, talent, outsourced relationships, more. Isn't it interesting how we know how important relationships are, but we simply leave them to happenstance too often? Here is an opportunity to make it a rule. Okay? The next rule, entry guidelines. Entry of a relationship will be based on evidence that that relationship values how we deliver our business. Just imagine how much effort and time you would avoid wasting if you and the entire organization followed that rule day in and day out. The next rule is the really important one. relationship will be reduced by a quarter, 25%, if any of the individual following triggers occurs. One, if the relationship appears to be less innovative. Another 25% of our relationship will be diminished if the particular entity doesn't have increasing growth margins. Another 25% of the relationship will be reduced if they're just not a source of energy. And a final 25% of the relationship will be diminished if it's out of weight with what we consider to be prudent. You know, we all know these telltale signs of a bad relationship, but we keep it in our head, and it's emotional. We don't take action. How much easier is it when there's a rule? You know how to take action. Now, the most important action item is risk management. Think about this one. I will not be hostage to any single source. Not a customer, not a vendor, not a financing source. No single source. How much pain would that eliminate in your business life? Okay, now we come to that third step, which is the routine for mid-course correction. Annually, I will convene a team discovery meeting with our group to reveal our optimum growth strategy documented in our corporate resume. Monthly, we will evaluate our financial statistics against our optimum growth strategy. Weekly, we will review our rules, our watch list, our entry and exit, and our risk management, and make sure that we are on track. With a value driving plan like that, you have rules to ensure that you are laser focused on driving value unique to you in an extremely proactive way. These rules avoid the possibility of getting engaged and excited about profit-making opportunities which are simply inconsistent with your optimum growth strategy. And as a result, you won't fall into the trap that 98% of entrepreneurs do and become involved in reactive growth. To be part of the top 2%, to be part of the entrepreneurs who are pursuing their passion in a proactive way around their optimum growth strategy, you've got